Okay, now that we have that done, I have my um, separate parts of my model as one mesh. Next step will be to make sure our UVs are properly arranged, and we're going to go ahead and do what we call a UV snapshot. Let's get ready for that. So this is exactly how I want my UVs to look. So this is fine. I'm just going to right click on it, go to UVs, and click drag over the entire thing and move them over to this top right grid. I'm going to go to my scale tool and just scale that down and make sure that they fit in the top right grid. At the same time, you want to use as much space as possible out of this grid, so when you're done with that, you want to make sure you have everything arranged in a box-like fashion. So I'm just gonna click over this and move it over here, create some space between them. I think this is the best I'm gonna get out of it. Now you don't really have to do this, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna merge these UVs together. So in the front part of my seat, I just go back to edge, right click on all the edges between parts and go to polygons, move, and so there you go. Do the same for the back part of my chair. There we go. This just makes it easier when you go in there and start adding your paints and textures. And the bottom part. Alright, now that we have this set up, the next step to do will be to make our snapshot. So you go to polygons and go to UV snapshot. The UV snapshot box pops up. The next step you want to do, where it says file name, you go to browse, and you look for the folder you want to save this snapshot in, and you want to make sure you remember that folder. So for me, I have it already set up right here. I'm going to go into my source images and save it as chair UV map. I already have one done before, so ignore that. Yes, override it. And where it says file size, I like to work big, so I leave it at as 2048 by 2048. Color value you leave as white, and you're pretty much done right here. So you hit OK, and you can see down here on your command line that the file has been saved. So we're done for Maya. We're done with Maya for now. We're gonna go into a paint program like Photoshop, and we're gonna add the paints to this. So how do we go about doing that? We open up a program like Photoshop. That's what I'm gonna use, and we're gonna look for our file. So you go to File, Open, and just browse around. And we're going to go into my I'm going to go into my source images, because that's where I had my UV snapshot sent, and there it is. Sure. Now just give me a sec to clean up some stuff I had down there. Should have done this before starting the tutorial. Delete that. Delete. Okay. Now the way I like to do this, I like to have separate folders made, so I could save my color map, my bump map, and my specular map separately, and you're going to see why in a second. But what we have here, this is the UV snapshot we just made. You can see we have the face of our chair, the back, the side, the seat, and the bottom. So Photoshop is pretty good for this because you can work in layers. And the first thing you want to do, of course, you create a new layer. I'm going to call that color. Go to layer properties. There we go. And I'm going to add what I call a base color to my chair. Where the other swatches? There we go. I'm going to pick like a light gray. Let's increase the size of my brush, increase the hardness. There we go. And we're just going to start painting on that new layer. Before you do that though, you want to go to where it says normal right by your layer. Click on that for the new layer and make it screen, so you can see your grid, which is be your background, beneath your layer. So we'll have the base color set up. Your map doesn't have to look clean. I mean, your picture doesn't have to look clean. You're gonna right. Now we have that done. First thing you want to do, want to check this out in Maya. How do we do that? You hide the background, go to File, Save As. I'm going to save this under color, and you want to save it as a tagger file, and I'll just call it chair color. I'm just going to hit save. You can have it as 24 bits, but I'm going to have it as 32. And we'll go back to Maya, and this is our chair. Now you want to pull up your hypershade again. We're going to grab a new material right under where it says create Maya nodes. We're going to grab a Blinn instead of a Lambert this time, and we're going to double click on that Blinn. If you remember where it has color, you remember the checker box, click on that, and we're going to click on File this time. Now this is going to come up where it says image name. Go to the folder by that, click on that, and you look for your tagger file you just saved. That's why I said it's always important to remember where you're saving these files, so you could get to them easily. Now I have mine saved on the source images and color, and there it is, chair color. Click on that. Now you've assigned that file to your Blinn. I'm just going to drag that Blinn and place it on my model. Okay, let's do it this way. Select assign materials to selection, and it seems that we're having a problem right here. There we go. Now you can see it just has that base gray color we just painted. So we're going to go ahead and fix that.